in like the least judgmental way possible. Every time I hang out with someone here at school, it's a mistake. School is interesting, and I'm really glad that I came because this is something that I have wondered about for many years. It's already putting me in, like, I already feel transformed, let's just put it that way. And I don't have any complaints at all. I really like take every experience that I have as like the right experience, is like that's the one that was supposed to have. And I guess what I'll say on just what I just said, like my opener, is that I actually feel like I am a much more positive, happy person than majority of the people at this school. But I actually think that it comes off as the opposite in a lot of ways. Like I think that I seem maybe kind of like standoffish or kind of isolated, and that makes people feel insecure, or just like they need to do something, you know. But I don't complain, and I've noticed that most people bond in this sort of codependent way through like venting, and because I don't really have a desire to do that, I don't really have any like grievances I need to share necessarily. I am pretty like satisfied. I have a lot of peace. I kind of just like am I'm fine. I think that it means that there's very sort of few people that are kind of like in that same place. So a girl from my class like came up like right behind me as I was talking about like on a different level than everyone, so I tried to taper that off in a way where I could still like say what I was trying to say. But so before I like came here, I had the intention and kind of the assumption that like I would sort of just be in my own world. I feel like I did a lot of preparation to get here, and I kind of like I feel like I was like a little bit like a monk for a while, so that I could have the kind of like focus and peace and stamina to just sort of go through like any situation in life, but especially not especially school, but like, you know, I knew I was going to stay in the dorms, and I just wanted to be able to, I wanted in general to be able to like sort of move through imperfect things and like not just sort of like move through things with a sense of tranquility. And so, and my world, like my inner world, gets like so much bigger and bigger and bigger, like the more I do that. And so I came here like knowing that I was gonna be like more or less kind of like isolated, and that like that was gonna be a choice that I was making. And then when I got here, I started like interacting with a lot more people than I expected, because I don't know, I just do that. I mean, like I'm a Libra. I'm like very I am very social. I'm just like, you know, I don't want to like, you know, be in interactions where like nothing's happening and like it feels kind of pointless, like a dead end. So I think that's like everyone, you know, but it's like my nature more or less. The Capricorn rising kind of protects me a lot, which keeps me from, it allows me to be a little more like gruff. Whereas, so I don't know, you know, like I socialize and I'm friendly because it doesn't always feel appropriate to be unfriendly. I think that like sometimes that's my route if I like don't if I'm like in like I just kind of go I'm like I go from like, you know, like friendly to like abrasive, and I don't think that's necessary. I think I just need to, you know, need to and am getting better at like spotting things ahead of time, like whenever it's going to be sort of an interaction that isn't like, it's not going to get exponentially better. It's just going to sort of taper off, and then I'll have to like leave the interaction in like kind of an awkward way. Not like that ever really matters, but it's like this is like kind of a pattern with me where I'll like have I'll interact with someone like a really social way, and then like part way through or towards the end, I'll be like, okay, I don't know, actually, I've changed my mind, and then I'll, you know, and then I just kind of like have this disappearing act energy, which I think is like sort of more of a jerky way of doing things than is necessary. When I could probably just like predict from the beginning and like just be comfortable being this person that like is hard to know and is just sort of like maybe floating like on the outskirts sometimes, you know, like I think that I don't want to like make people like uncomfortable or like, but you know, who cares? Like I am allowed to just like be the quiet girl, mysterious girl, and everyone else can like, you know, can vent. That's okay. So I'm gonna read some journal entries that I found. I think I actually wrote these before I recorded the last clip, and I wanted to record another clip just kind of elaborating on like some things I've observed and integrated since I recorded that clip, because like I just was experiencing this kind of sensation of like melding a little bit too much with other people, like leaning in a little too much with other people still, and just that kind of boomerang effect of coming back, because usually that triggers some kind of honesty in me, and then now I am like stronger and I have my force field is more apparent after that. So I do think that the boomerang effect that I was kind of condemning a little bit in the last clip has a purpose, you know. I think that there's really something to setting your boundaries really high and really intense at first, and then kind of slowly taking them down if you need to, but like overdoing it, because typically there is a way where we can kind of be in some level of communication with the people around us. We don't need to completely withdraw and give people the cold shoulder, but there is a way where when we become more truly who we are, it's a natural force field effect, and we stop trying to play small, we stop trying to enmesh, we stop trying to be nice, you know, and polite, which only leaves us feeling drained and frustrated and like we've betrayed ourselves in the end. And that's really what makes us not want to connect with certain people, is because certain people require different boundaries than, for example, like our soulmates and our spiritual soulmates, you know, where those are kind of built in, and it's like the stillness and the quietness between these um, these soulmates is like very profound. That's what sort of causes these awakenings. That's what causes us to feel these instances of like being the eye of the storm, you know, like it catches us off guard because there's nothing we really have to do. There's nothing we have to change or alter about our natural state of being in order to remain safe. But with some people, with the majority of people, we do actually, because our soulmates are high level spiritual soulmates. You know, we only have one twin flame, and then our spiritual soulmates, there's not that many of them. Like, I've only been able to identify a handful. So the majority of the world is going to kind of fall into this outer category of just sort of everyone else, where we need to be a little more vigilant of maintaining who we are. And in order to do that, we need to know who we are, and we need to know that it's never worth abandoning that person or compromising who we are, our values, really compromising in any way in order to move through the world. So I wrote this. It says, my energy is in a league of its own here at school. Everyone is connected from a place of codependency, and I occasionally notice myself roped in when, amongst others, trying to make myself known, but winding up talking to walls. No one is listening, nor cares. They just want you to think they are cool. They just want to be heard, too. And sometimes there is no connection to be made. Sometimes, often, there is letting go to do, and nothing more. Simply let the others pass you by. Let the others pass through you. You know what you came here to do, and it involves no one else. Remember how beautiful your energy is. Remember how pure and divine. Remember how hard you worked. Do not allow yourself to get swept up in petty talk with people outside your realm. Allow them to be there, and that is all. Just there. You are both just there. We are both simply here. No one else needs to understand or see. It is enough for me to see. Nothing needs validation. God validates. And then I just wrote the word God like 20 times. Wow, a commercial just came on and that like really just ruined the vibe. But yeah, then I wrote the word God like over and over and over and over again, just kind of it's like a prayer, like it's like a chant, you know, like if you it's a prayer. It kind of like stabilizes your force field, it stabilizes your energy, it stabilizes your intention. It's like a mantra. Writing, I find, has that very similar kind of powerful effect as like speaking out loud, and sometimes we can't always speak out loud or chant. I just have to clear some energy, and it's fitting for this next reading. I think this is the last one that I was going to read. This one says, I merged too much with other people, people not in my soul family, people that my energy doesn't like, and I feel a bit nauseous now. I'm noticing nausea more now as a post-bloating experience, which to me feels like an evolution. It's not nausea like I want to puke, but almost more like something has moved through me. I have aligned myself back to the present. So, nausea is like a physical symptom that I never, ever, ever get, never, ever experience. On the next page, I started writing over and over again, stop trying to be good. 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 So, bloating, I know that my mom said that I used to get like stomach aches a lot when I was a kid, but I never got around to asking her if it was nausea or like more like stomach pain, or bloating, or if I just said like my stomach hurts. And I wonder, this music's a little intense. I wonder because in my adult life I've had a lot of experiences with like bloating, which I later was able to connect with anxiety and tension and this experience of not having a free flowing like open channel through your body, and so your body like will just clench in your stomach, like because we process emotions through our stomach the same way that we process food, we process experiences, we process sensations, you know, and it can otherwise get stuck up here in our chest and then just create this kind of general climate of blocked energy in our sacral and our solar plexus and our stomach and our and so, but nausea is something very specific, you know. Nausea is like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up, like I feel like something, my stomach is like turning and something wants to come out. It's not like something, there's not like, it's not like there's a rock sitting in your stomach and like it's like just hard, it's like painful, it's like just tense, you know. Nausea is almost like, it's almost like beyond that actually, you know. And I always, like, I hate being nauseous. I mean, neither of these sensations are particularly pleasurable, but nausea always induced more, I wouldn't say it induced more anxiety, because bloating was literally a manifestation of anxiety. It was literally like cortisol levels, like adrenaline running. But nausea did something to my mind where it scared me more, it made me uncomfortable, or it was more foreign. Like I associated it more with like, oh no, like something's like really wrong if I feel nauseous, because like it just never happens. And the more that I've like moved through energy and like sort of evolved on an energetic level, and I think about things this way, I started, like when nausea would happen, it was usually, because it's still rare, it was usually when something more intense had happened, like something that really just kind of was upsetting. You know, if I, like, I think I noticed it when I had a really sort of upsetting interaction with my Grammy, where I had, but it felt like I think I had stood my ground in some way, and so it felt like I was like she had been really vile, and it literally felt like my body was like wanted to throw that up, and I never did, but it was like that was the sensation that was coming through. I think I can feel someone's like energy kind so that was me writing about this experience where I was noticing it, but I was noticing it I was perceiving it as sort of like a level above bloating. Like it was at least my body allowing things to move and shift and at least wanting to expel it, whereas bloating was literally, it was just holding on. It was just holding it, you know. At least nausea is an action. At least nausea is, you know, a sensation of purging. It's trying to get something out. It's not just holding on. It's your body being like, it wants it out, you know. So my view of nausea is much more like, I think that to me that means that I have been able to it means that I have been able to kind of unclench. So I'm no longer experiencing just tension in my stomach, and I have been able to unclench and allow my body to swirl the energies around and then decide what to do with them, you know? So it's kind of like it's like a growing beyond being anxious about being anxious and just allowing yourself to be anxious, or allowing yourself to feel the things that come through you, and just allowing them to do that, and then trusting that your body is going to have the reactions that it wants and needs to have. It's going to naturally integrate or expel and purge these things, and we don't need to activate our mind in order to figure out, what is this? What is it doing? What does it want from me? Is it right, wrong? You know, just allowing things to happen without the added pressure of the analysis, because I do think that's what kept me in at one point in my life, a chronic state of bloating. So that was a little tangent about how I learned to love my nauseous sensations. And I'll probably record maybe another little clip on the end of this to I guess just kind of summarize where I'm at, what's been happening with my sort of boundaries lately. I found another journal entry that goes with the other ones I'm going to read. I really need to stop being desperate, because then other desperate people drain my energy from me. So many people look at me and want my attention every day, but they don't deserve it. They just want to see if I am giving any away for free. They want to see if I am as desperate as I am beautiful, compelling, enchanting. But those days are over. I'm going to talk to you guys about where I'm at, what I've learned about boundaries lately, but like, someone made this little shrine here where I was going to sit. So this video is already really long, so I'm gonna make this kind of fast, but I think all I really wanted to say was just like, I've noticed that like the way you stand and your voice, the way you project your voice, not only in volume but in tone, you know. So I understand why women have, like famous iconic women have and women, this is like and it's a feminine thing to protect yourself with your voice, you know. Like you can, if you put on doesn't have to be disingenuous, but like a customer service voice. It ends up sounding like a customer service voice because when you push yourself out in such a way, you will find that there's people around you who are kind of trying to siphon energy from you, and they're pushing low frequency energy at you, and you kind of have to talk in this way, like almost like as if they're like a toddler, because they are in a lower frequency than you, you know? And you can look at this as like, this person is just not aligned with you. You know, they're trying to interact with you in a way that you do not want to interact with them in. And so when you project your voice outward in a way that keeps your physical body very clear and very steady, you protect yourself. You create a force field, a masculine energy force field around yourself that you can exist in, that the soft, feminine, not malleable, but like moving, eternal, you know, void, dark space inside of you can remain as it is without having things pushed into it or without having things taken from it. So that's what I've been practicing a lot, because I still want to be able to more engage with people more or less, but I'm finding my exit points faster if I need to, and I am finding ways to interact with them that don't make me come off resentful if I feel like they have crossed a boundary, you know, or doesn't make me just totally shut down and go silent. So I can talk and be like, oh, that's so interesting. Like, hi, good morning to you too. Yes, I have had a great morning, you know, like in a way that just acknowledges like, yeah, we are just two people sitting talking about having a great morning, and there are no hidden agendas, no hidden meanings. You are not flirting with me. You are not trying to get something from me. You are not trying to manipulate me into being your friend. You are not trying to pull me into your energy so then you can bring me down with, you know, drama and venting. You know, we are just two people saying, oh, I am having a great, like, I'm having a great morning. Oh my God. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for that compliment. Yeah, you know, this class is interesting, you know, like, just speak from a very neutral point, a very sort of like a naive, like an innocent point, you know, speak as if you are a child of God and everyone around you is a child of God, and no one is trying to hurt you, as if pain does not exist. And this actually, it protects you from pain, and it's not a denial. It's not a denial. You are not even allowing this darkness to enter you. You're not even allowing the pain, the density, the whatever doesn't belong in your vessel, in your being, in your energetic field to enter you, because you're not responding to things as if they are dark, as if they are siphoning you. You are responding to things as if the world is light, as if things are light. And that's how you maintain the realm around you that you want to be in. And then you will find people, you will find your people who are capable of meeting you in all of the depths, in all of these realms, and they're going to make the darkness so fun, and they're going to make it make so much sense, and you're going to find the people who you don't have to stay on that surface level with, because they are going to be the people who can simultaneously hold the darkness while you are in your light, while you are in your divinity, while you are in your highest expression of self. They are going to be able to dance in that realm with you, and you're not gonna have to like be like forcibly brought down there so that you guys can find some resonance, you know. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Doesn't matter if it doesn't, because this is my vlog. But I really think that I really think I'm really happy with where I'm at and what I've learned and what I've integrated and who I am and what I'm embodying now. So I hope to bring more of this in the next vlog. And I will leave you with this. Peace.